We are live from Crusaders headquarters. I am King Nico, and if you're watching and listening to this, you are the resistance. So right now, Artemis II is about to re-enter Earth's atmosphere and splash down in the Pacific Ocean within the next 50 minutes. So I fell asleep watching some of Artemis returning to Earth, and it is the biggest bore fest I've ever seen. It is absolutely total BS, says J7. It's good to see you this evening or afternoon because you're on the West Coast. And Clayton is watching. Yeah, San Diego. I believe the SD is San Diego. So let's quickly. We got to go. They think we're silly. They think we're stupid. So this is the live stream from Fox News. Prince, can you relax, please? I'm going to just play it and skip through all of it. And I want you to keep in mind, this is live footage from a GoPro on the outside of Artemis as they're heading back towards Earth. So this is from NASA itself. Notice this cloud formation, because we're going to go through two hours of this footage. And these cloud formations are not going to change one bit. Keep in mind, we're not going to see any motion. This lander never looks like it is moving towards this Earth. And why is the bottom part all dark? I guess they're trying to say that the sun is shining on this part of the Earth, so this part is dark. But where's the lights? They don't have electricity in the southern hemisphere. You'd see some kind of lights from all the cities, right? Absolute BS. So we're going to skip through. This is Artemis returning to Earth. So as you're going to, I don't know, is this just a bunch of pictures stitched together and it's like nothing's moving? You don't see no spinning of the Earth, no cloud formations moving. They remain still for the whole live stream. So we're going to skip forward. So keep in mind, this is at the beginning. So as you can see, as I'm moving forward, cloud formations haven't moved. Cloud formations are still exactly the same. We're going to move a bit more. That cloud formation is still exactly the same. Cloud formation is still there, just a different angle now. The cloud formation is still there. Why is the clouds not changing on the Earth if they're moving closer and closer towards it? It's the exact same cloud formation, not moving. So this is the footage angle they give us on board the shuttle. So there's the pilots in their seat, in their spacesuits. We do not see anything of outside. We don't see what they see. We just see them inside and the screens. We can see this on Earth. You're in space. We want to see outside of the window what it looks like flying towards Earth and re-entering Earth's atmosphere. But guess what? We're not going to see that. Interview after interview, they keep showing the headquarters. They're not seeing anything from inside the spaceship. The live feed. Oh, look, we're back on the live feed, and look, the exact same cloud formations has not shifted, has not moved, even though they're traveling towards it and getting closer and closer. Notice this cloud formation. So let's keep going, keep going. Look, they're getting closer and closer. The clouds aren't changing. Like, do they think we're that stupid?
As I think most folks know by now, we flew a trajectory known as a skip entry, in which we.
So we're over an hour away. So look, we're at minus 26. We go an hour ago. It's the exact same cloud formation, right? Clouds don't stay in the exact same place for over an hour. We're not seeing any movement.
To try to protect integrities here. Final hour in space.
So there's another visualization. Oh, they're mixing artwork with fakery, with sleight of hand, with trickery, and people are buying it. That's not the view we want to see. We don't want to see this view. So again, cloud formations haven't changed as they're approaching Earth. And the bottom half of the Earth has zero light. Like electricity doesn't exist down there. Love you too, J7. Clayton's laughing. Satan minus T is NASA. Correct. So that's one live stream. I saw some ridiculous stuff. Here's another live stream.
39 seconds from now.
So this is live. This is the shot of them approaching Earth.
For the two enabled prop cautions, what happened is while the thrusters were firing, multiple pressure sensors on each of the strings diverged a bit from each other. Those limits look to be set pretty tight. We think it could happen again when the thrusters fire in the future, so we are going to suppress those messages.
They're on their way back right now.
We concur with some.
They're about to enter Earth's atmosphere, Strido wins. Zane says hi, but yet we're not seeing it. So what I just showed was them approaching Earth, and the Earth is not spinning. The Earth is not moving. The clouds are not changing after 2 hours on live. So yeah, they're going to separate the capsule here soon, and we're going to see it splash down the 11. So wait, we're going to get to, so this is live stream. We're not seeing anything live. This is not observation of the experiment. This could be anything. Where's that Sky News? Was it this live stream? Yeah, listen to what this woman says here. What a, I saw this woman speak live and I was like, what an idiot. Listen.
Aisha Bowe, the chief executive of an engineering firm, STEM board, and a former NASA rocket scientist, a real life.
So she's a NASA rocket scientist. So here, watch this show that these two put on.
Rocket scientist. So you know all the backstory, everything that goes before the splashdown that we are here to witness.
What a night for space and science, Jillian. I mean, we're literally going to watch a spacecraft that is traveling at about 25,000 miles per hour splash down from the edge of space to Earth. And every second, every moment.
Wow, watch her sell the shit out of this BS. 25,000 miles per hour in a tin can, re-entering Earth's atmosphere. This thing is going to be a furnace, right? A furnace where whatever's inside should be cooked, right? Traveling at that speed, it's going to be that hot. But just watch her sell the crap out of this, Miss NASA rocket scientist.
It's filling up nicely there. People
Of engineering here, I call this a series of miracles. We're really going to watch what amounts to about 11 miracles. And I say 11 because that's the number of parachutes that have to deploy successfully tonight in order to bring the spacecraft safely to a controlled crash, which we call splashdown, which occurs at about 20 miles an hour. But before that, this beginning starts with an entry corridor that is 2 degrees wide. I mean, this isn't like navigating with your GPS. This is pure physics, pure math, and all precision. We're literally watching like the pro sports elite level of engineering here unfold in 14 minutes.
Whoa, the pro level of elite sports of engineering unfold. We haven't seen anything. We're not seeing no engineering, no science. I think the module just separated, right? Let's get that video up quickly. This is happening live right now. I just saw the biggest nonsense I've seen. Let me refresh this and get a live feed back up quick. So what did we just...
Yes, now that they have separated away from each other, Orion's heat shield now exposed. As we were talking about, it will do that short maneuver where it will boost itself away from the service module. The European service module will...
Okay, watch. It's about to separate. Let's see what kind of footage we're going to see here. Watch.
Here we go.
Oh my gosh, we saw it.
What the hell?
There we go.
Look at these.
Wow.
Give me a break.
Live, those were
me a
live
break.
views, not animations.
Oh,
Look
we're
at
going
that.
back.
This
Wow.
from inside the European service module. You can see the bit of the heat shield there as Orion moves away.
They're laughing. What does it
Orion
mean
now
laugh?
free flying on its own.
They're laughing at this. So watch it as it happened live. I won't say anything, but this is absolute CGI crap. But they could barely put a second together.
Oh my gosh, we saw it.
There we go.
Look at these views.
Wow.
These are live. Those were live views, not animations.
Oh,
Look
we're
at
going
that.
back.
This
Wow.
from inside the European service module. You can see the bit of the heat shield there as Orion moves away. Orion now free flying on its own. Thank you, European service module, for all of your work helping to keep the crew alive.
We got to keep watching this back.
So those two will separate away, and then they will do a short maneuver a couple minutes after to make sure that they are away from each other, and that as Orion enters Earth's atmosphere and encounters entry interface, that it doesn't accidentally run into it at any point. So it's pyrotechnics, Alex, that will separate it away, right?
Yep.
I did wonder if they were going to move
Heart
away
rate
from that
going
image. Yeah.
crazy.
Like, will they give us the live image? I'm not sure that they will.
Standing by now
Let's see.
for separation. Hopefully we get the view of it from this camera. Standing by with you.
There we go.
Oh my gosh, we saw it.
There we go.
Look at these views.
Wow.
Oh,
These are
what were those two angles? So we saw two different angles. So you see it. I don't know. Okay, the first part, this is actual live footage. And then it instantly cuts to what looks like a visualization. So what's recording that taking place? So this is supposed to be from the GoPro on Orion. And then we see it separate in space as it's about to re-enter, right? Let me mute these guys. So there it is. And then boom, it's going to cut to another shot. Watch. And then it cut. What is this shot? Is that of this? Come on. What they are expecting people to buy this and believe these half a second clips of supposed space and engineering and Marvel great. Okay, we're back live. That's all they're showing us. So J7 says, hey, Crusaders family, so glad we are here and awake. Yes, we are here and awake. We've been speaking about this for years, and we're here 2026. It's the final day. They've been doing, they left 10 days ago on April 1st, right? And in 10 days, we've seen nothing of space. We haven't seen any real images of the moon, nothing that we could get from Earth with a P900 or P1000 Nikon camera anyway, or a decent telescope. We didn't see anything. We didn't see the Earth spinning, moving, clouds moving, oceans and tides moving. We didn't see any of that. The live video that showed us the clouds didn't move. The Earth wasn't spinning. The angle just changed. It was like a still picture, and they're trying to convince us that this is the Earth live right now, and we're flying towards it after just being slingshotted around the moon. Come on. And exactly, I see, or Itch Thigh Yanda says, do we like have 8K nowadays? Like, what the hell is going on? It is garbage footage. Yep. Yeah, you called it, clowns. Yeah, good catch on that second quick cut, Nico. It's like right there. It's pretty obvious. So everyone in the world's watching this because all the live streams are there from Sky News, Russian this, everything's there. And then we saw what we've been waiting on is the separation. It kind of splits and then glitches out and then goes into CGI, right? Huh. Strider Win says PlayStation 1 graphics, elite engineering. That woman, that rocket scientist says we are witnessing the elite, the high level of sporting of the engineering of this. Oh, come on. sell it a bit more, shall we? Yeah, they are mocking us. Yeah, PlayStation 1 graphics for sure. So I'm watching it live. And that's it. And now we're going to see it splash down into the ocean now. Like, where is the footage of them re-entering the atmosphere? Let me see what CTV posted. A video describing the re-entry. ABC News is covering it. Global News. Jeff Horchoff Bees live. Everyone's just showing a whole bunch of crap. Fox News again. Space flight now. I want to see this thing land in. Artemis crew expected to return to Earth. So again, this was from Reuters. This thing's moving back and forth. It looks like a toy, right? Moving back and forth. It's not moving towards anything. It looks like it's hanging on a string and it's just dangling there. That is what I see. That type of motion is not a rocket thrusting through space. That's a toy dangling off a string. That's the motion I'm getting from this. And then the angle changes. Like, that's not it moving. And before it moves, every time the thing moves, why do you have to cut to a visualization? And what are these little plastic things? That's supposed to be elite space technology. Like, it looks like plastic cups. Like, what is this? There's nothing coming out of the end of this. Rocket engineering at its finest, right? Bunch of plastic cups from Dollarama. They're doing it on purpose. Like the lawn chairs from the first moon landing 50 friggin' plus years ago. Like, where is the $1 million space technology? Why are they using GoPros and not some fancy NASA created 360 lens camera that can view space and capture the Earth and all its glory? We got none of that. What is this? So look, the cloud formation I can see is still the exact same. And as they get closer and closer, it does not move. Look how far away they are. That's the same cloud formation. And as you get closer, you're going to see. Yeah, this whole space thing is absolute crap. Wow. Wow. People believe that this is flying towards this. There's the clouds, same clouds, nothing's moving. You're going to be seeing this all over TikTok, people saying the clouds this, nothing, everyone's just going to, like, people aren't buying it. Like, oh, I'm done looking at this crap. It is ridiculous. It's like some kid, a 5-year-old child made this, right? And like, look, this is my rocket. There's the Earth. And then they're making like a stop shot video. Oh, they're back. What's live? We're seeing something. Okay, let's get to this is crap. Let's get to the, okay, that's done. Let's get back to live. I think they're on Earth again now. Like, this is crap. So they just got back.
Pumpkin suits.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't like these kids talking on the video.
This view out of one of Integrity's windows. We had a call for 3 good barrows. Those are barometric pressure sensors that feed altitude and rate of descent information to Integrity's computers that will trigger the parachute deployment sequence. We are less than 9 minutes away from entry interface, 22 minutes from splashdown.
Come on, what is this footage?
You can see the reflection of one of the crew members in the window. Out in the Pacific, the weather conditions remain go. Just a few clouds, some scattered clouds.
Okay, but
Winds
let
of
us
10
see it.
knots. Wave heights just about 4
Yeah,
feet.
it looks like a paper mache rocket.
A gentle day in the Pacific for the homecoming of Integrity's astronauts.
Splashdown in Clown Town. So for 10 days now, all we've seen is crap like this. Stuff that looks like a toddler ran off with their parents' cell phone and had the camera running, and all we're seeing is the floor, close-ups of the
Integrity
floor.
back in EI attitude.
Like, this is not anything. Where's the video of them approaching Earth? And they had the chance for the coolest footage ever taken. Where is it?
Houston, purge is complete. Crew and vehicle are configured for entry.
They're ready for re-entry. Look,
Houston,
but
copy.
we're not. Are we going to see it or what? Are we going to see them enter Earth or not? In
And
space?
we're in step 37, transferring nav state to BFS.
We're not going to see anything. We didn't see space. We didn't see them leave Earth and enter space. We didn't see any camera angles of them looking at Earth, live footage, video. We saw pictures of them looking out the window, looking at Earth, a
Houston, in
still
instruction
picture in
509,
2026.
we are not below 0.2.
So we did not see the rocket leave Earth. What we saw was a rocket take off and curve into the
Integrity,
ocean.
no action required.
But somehow they're in space. So while they're in space,
Integrity.
we did not see them approach the moon. We saw them halfway to the moon, and we saw a little white dot in the distance. And we're like, what the hell? The moon looks closer from Earth, and you're supposed to be halfway to it, and it looks that small.
Now 6 minutes away from entry interface.
6 minutes away from
We
entry
will hit
interface.
the first traces of Earth's atmosphere at an altitude of 400,000
Oh, they're showing
feet,
us Earth's atmosphere.
traveling
Let's see what
about
they're showing us.
34,882 feet per second. Range to splashdown at that point will be 1,701 nautical miles.
We're not seeing anything. What is with these camera angles, NASA?
And once again, just a reminder, some 24 seconds after entry interface, we do expect to lose communications with the vehicle and the crew during a 6-minute blackout period when a plasma shield will build up around the spacecraft due to the ionization, due to heating effects.
So all
And
that's going to
Flight
happen.
Dynamics has just confirmed we will have a blackout period of exactly 6 minutes in duration. And once again, that's due to the fact that a plasma buildup around the vehicle
Plasma
will
buildup.
prevent communications and data. So we will not be able to talk to the crew members at that time, nor will we receive data here in the flight control room.
Everything's looking good on board. Just confirm.
So they're going to enter Earth, but we're not going to see it because of the plasma buildup. It's going to be blacked out for 6 minutes. So after that 6-minute blackout, what we're going to miss is them entering Earth, and then all we're going to see is them in the sky dropping down with parachutes. That's all we're going to see. Trust me, we've seen this show before. We're not buying. Oh, look, there's Earth. There's Earth. Look, they're showing us some live footage.
We're 4 minutes away from entry interface.
What is with the shape of this Earth? Why is there a right? Why is this side so straight? And why? Come on, man. This is the best we're going to get from them, and this is not good enough. They're actually flying over Earth now, about to re-enter it in the next 3-4 minutes. Why does the Earth keep changing shape with this NASA people? Why does it keep glowing in certain places? Why is it non-glowing in other places? Why is it pitch black and non-existent, like it disappeared in other places, no stars? No cities. We're
view,
not seeing
from
any
integrity
cities. We're not seeing any
as it crosses
airplanes.
from southwest to northeast across the Pacific Ocean, 3 minutes from entry interface.
They're always too high up to see anything, right? No
16
boats,
and a half
no
minutes till
ships,
splashdown.
no aircraft flying, no satellites. Where's the fucking satellites? There's tens
The
of thousands of
USS
them.
John P. Murtha and the
Not
recovery
one
team is on
satellite,
station
people. They're
and in
re-entering Earth.
position, as are the airborne imagery assets that we hope to receive imagery from as Artemis enters the Earth's atmosphere and through parachute deployment.
So we are not going to see them re-enter Earth's atmosphere because that is an impossible shot to capture because they're not really in space.
All of
They're not
integrity
out of
systems are in
Earth.
great
You
shape.
cannot
The
leave
crew is
Earth and then re-enter
ready
it.
to complete its mission just 15 and a half minutes from now.
So what they're showing is
All of the
crap.
activities today have
And when it
gone
comes
off
time
in
to
perfect
actually
fashion.
re-enter
No
the
issues with the
atmosphere
vehicle, no
and
issues with the
re-enter
crew.
Earth, they're
And
going
the
to have
weather
a
at the
blackout.
splashdown
And we're
site
not
is
going to
go.
see it. Because they can't show it. They can't show something that they cannot achieve, right? They can talk about it, to jot their numbers and do their calculations until they're blue. If we're not seeing it, it is not happening. What is with the shape of this Earth? Are you guys seeing this? Can someone, I can like it's straighter than my remote right here.
Coming up on 1 minute until entry interface.
1 minute, 1 minute. And it's going to black out, trust me, because of the plasma. We're not going to see anything. They haven't shown us anything. This is not Earth. We're not going to see cities below. We're not going to see planes flying around this ball. We're not going to see ships
Mark,
upside
1
down.
minute until entry interface. 1 minute, 20 seconds until the expected start of our 6-minute blackout.
Like that. They're not even trying.
Integrity, 1 minute to
They're
a
not even
6-minute
trying.
blackout.
Integrity.
Yes, Clayton. Clayton is right. We've heard pear shape. We've heard oblique spheroid. We're seeing something completely different here. Like, what is this? Why aren't the clouds moving? Where's Earth? Like, this white smudge over a blue glowing thing is not Earth. They never get close enough
10
to show
seconds
us
till entry
actual
interface.
cities as the living life live. They don't show us highways and traffic on the equator or upside down or north because they can't show us that. Then we're never going to see that ever.
And we have crossed the threshold, now entering the Earth's atmosphere.
Entering Earth's
We're
atmosphere.
at 400,000 feet, traveling 34,800 feet per second.
Come on. This is the best they got. Look.
Time to splash down, 13 minutes, 10 seconds.
13 minutes, 10 seconds. Look at this. This is them re-entering Earth's atmosphere. What's it going to look like? Remember, they're traveling at, blacked out. There we go. We're not going to see nothing.
We've entered our communications blackout.
Of course.
This will be a 6-minute blackout period. No voice, no data from the crew.
We've just seen the best of NASA. That was it. And now we're going to get the 6-minute blackout. No communication, yet they're right there in the
30
atmosphere.
seconds away from the anticipated point of peak heating on the vehicle, where temperatures will rise to about 4,000 to 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the true
That's
test
hot.
of our trajectory.
And they're going to sit in there and be fine, playing with their plushy toy and sipping soup out of their bags. Come on.
And from the G5 aircraft in the vicinity of the splashdown zone, this view of integrity.
Black screens.
So that pinpoint of light shows the vehicle as it enters the period of peak heating in the Earth's atmosphere, the first tug of gravity being felt by Integrity's astronauts since their launch back on April 1st.
So wait, that pinpoint white dot light was supposed to be something, NASA? I'm not
Four
even
and a half
mad at
minutes until
NASA.
the end of
Like,
the
you can't
blackout
be mad
period.
at them, right? You can't be mad at them. It's the people
Time
that
to
are
splash
believing
down,
this
11
shit.
minutes, 33 seconds.
There's people going to be clapping and being like, welcome home, Victor and Christina Koch, you know, and Reed Wiseman. Like, these guys are going to get a fucking star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Why? What does the Hollywood Walk of Fame and getting a star in it have anything to do with science and plasma and re-entering Earth's atmosphere and fucking slingshotting around the moon? Absolutely nothing, because they're acting. Trust me, these MFs are going to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame alongside Buzz Aldrin,
The
Edward
landing and support
Collins,
officer
and
reports
Neil
that the
Armstrong.
P-3 has acquisition on integrity.
Well, so right now they're re-entering the atmosphere, but we cannot see it. Yet we could see them twirling
3.5
around and
minutes
getting
left in
dressed
this
and
blackout
undressed
period. This
in
is a
space at
visualization
the moon, but we can't
of
see them. What is
the
this?
plasma buildup around the
Visualize.
spacecraft and
That's a
the
visualization. So we're getting
repelling
more
of that heat
CGI.
on integrity's heat shield.
So they're saying that these 4 humans and one little lady named Christina Koch is sitting in a tin can that's traveling at over 25,000 miles per hour and is heating up to over 4,000, 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Are you kidding me? Are they going to get out like nothing ever happened, just splash down in the Pacific Ocean, get picked up by the US government and NASA? Come on. Come on. Visualizations.
Flight Dynamics reports that airborne assets in the vicinity of the splashdown zone do have a visual on integrity. Still 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in our blackout
Listen,
period.
they're going to cut back to the
Time to
friggin'
splashdown, 9 minutes, 35
spacecraft,
seconds.
and it's already going to be falling out the sky, and it's already going to have parachutes out of it or something. That's all. Right now, while they're in blackout, the crew have been whisked away from their secret base they've been staying at for 10 days, filming this shit. They're going to be taken up into a military airplane that's carrying
on integrity.
the spacecraft, and it's going to push them out of the military aircraft, the military plane that can't be, it's going to be stealth, a stealth plane is going to fly away, and then the cameras are going to be like, yep, they're in the air, boom, we got signal back. We got signal back, everyone. There they are. There's our fucking heroes. Look at them. They're falling from the sky. They just came back from fucking
space.
The
Navy helos also have visuals.
Are you kidding me? Oh boy. This is hilarious. So right now, the world is being duped by a cartoon on the screen.
Still do not have communications from the crew.
No, we still don't have communications. They haven't been pushed out of the fucking military stealth bomber yet, right? Have we seen anything in 10 days that says space is fucking real? That the moon is something you can land on? So they're trying to, like, everything that they're telling you is all in your imagination. Space is in your imagination. Landing on the moon, slingshotting around the moon, returning to Earth's atmosphere. It's all in your imagination.
We should be out of the blackout period less than a minute from now.
And it's images like this and visualizations that go along with all their fancy talk and their rocket scientists and their Freemason this and their PhD science this. All they do is talk, and they give you cartoons and some like exciting stuff with a rocket going up and down, and that's it. The rest is all in your imagination. Integrity. The words they speak give it all away. Let's see some of these comments quickly coming in live from NASA. Are people believing this? Love from Canada. Remember, they pay for bots.
Landing and support officer reports the small boats are en route to the splashdown target zone.
What is this? They're ready. They're ready. They've been pushed out of stealth bomber military Fox 29. He is now out of area. All worldwide cameras can now tune back into Integrity Orion, which is now in Earth's atmosphere. It's falling out the sky. It's got 11 parachutes. It's hot. It's hot. It's going to be steaming hot. It's going to turn the Pacific Ocean into a fucking
Passing through
jacuzzi.
150,000 feet, our trajectory is perfect. We're getting intermittent views.
4,000
integrity.
degrees Fahrenheit, and this
Still
thing's going
waiting
to
to
splash
establish
down
voice
in the
communication.
Pacific. It should turn the Pacific into a jacuzzi, should it not?
Integrity, Houston, comm check, post-blackout.
Houston, Integrity, we have you loud and clear.
Howdy,
Your trajectory
Houston.
is
We're back
nominal,
in town.
and your recovery teams have visual.
We got visuals. Recovery teams that got visuals. Hell yeah. God
No
damn.
action for the enabled internal camera controller fail.
Okay, show us then. Show us the
Big
shit.
cheers from the viewing room here in Mission Control as voice communication reestablished with Commander Reed Wiseman.
Come on, Reed. The last time we saw you
For
6 minutes
America
ago,
and
you
a
were in
waiting
fucking
world,
space. Where are you
Integrity
now?
is 5.5 minutes away from coming home.
He's coming home, ladies and gents. Give him that hero welcome. Look at these images. Like NASA in these images is absolutely
Passing
insane.
100,000 feet now.
The audacity of them to give us shit like
Range to
this.
splash down 19 nautical miles.
Like they're gonna trigger a fucking epileptic seizure with this shit. What the fuck is this? Oh my god, the flashing lights. They're trying to make people have a seizure, man. I'm gonna turn this off for a second because this is like driving me crazy. Give me a second. Yeah, like what the hell is this? They're trying to like trigger fucking seizures worldwide with this crap.
Integrity, impact to the camera controller fail is no cab 1 views of the chutes.
The Bozo Show. Yeah, what the fuck was with the strobe lights?
We're processing good data through the
There it is
GPS
again.
system. A good view of Integrity.
Integrity.
Time to splash down 4.5 minutes.
Integrity. Oh, there it is. Are we seeing something? Come on, man. What a
And a
joke.
view of Integrity from the WB-57. We're at 50,000.
What did I tell you? They were going to cut back to it, and it was already going to be falling out the fucking sky. And boom, there goes shoot 1. Boom, there goes shoot 2. What a joke! And people are thinking there's 4 people in there. Give me a break. Oh my god, I
The
can't believe I
pyros
have to
are armed
go
for
here.
forward bay cover jettison.
What is this? What is this? This thing was just at the moon and it's now returned to Earth, and here it is falling back into the atmosphere. What a joke. We did not see it enter Earth.
And there
There's
go
the
the
shoot.
first
What did
series
I
of
tell you?
parachutes.
Like clockwork.
And we're on drogues.
There's shoot 2. Boom, there's
Houston,
shoot
we're
3.
visual, 2 drogues out the window.
What? It's like I fucking wrote this myself.
2
And
good
boom, it's going to
drogue
splash
shoots.
it. Like, what the
Next
fuck
up,
is this
We
shit?
copy, we see them.
Next up, the deployment of pilot parachutes that will pull the main chutes out. Time to splash down 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
3 minutes, 10 seconds. So Genesis 3:10. And I saw myself. I heard your voice in the garden, and I knew,
Perfect
and I hid
descent rate
myself
according to
because I
flight
knew
dynamics.
I was
Right,
naked
two
and I was
drones.
ashamed. Genesis
We
3:10.
see the same on board.
They're rewriting Genesis with this shit, and I'm not going to allow it. With your 3 minutes, 10 seconds. I already know what you're referring to as soon as you said it.
Passing through 10,000 feet. Still on drogues.
We did not see this thing re-enter the atmosphere. When we wanted to see it enter the atmosphere, they cut to black. And I told you, when it returns from signal, it's already going to be falling in the sky, and it's going to drop the chutes, and then it's going to splash in the ocean, and that's it.
Main chute deploy.
We called it.
We're
We
at
called it.
5,000 feet.
We didn't see anything. I could have faked this better myself,
Search and
right?
recovery beacon has been activated on Integrity.
It's
And we have
one
3
big
good main
hoax.
chutes.
Come on. We did not. What did we really see?
Good 3 main chutes.
I
good
told you what we
briefing,
were going to
good
see
descent
before we
rate.
even
Right,
saw
then
it,
we
because I
see
know what they
3
cannot
good-looking
show
parachutes.
you, because what they're trying to tell you and show you doesn't exist. So when they comes down, actually seeing it, it's like, whoopsie, plasma. Yeah. The world's been fooled
Integrity.
yet
Cabin
again.
pressure indicates no need for hydrazine checks.
56, 57 years since the last one,
Integrity
and
copies.
people are falling for it. This blackout is a technical
This
gap
is a
used to switch from the
perfect
digital
descent
proxy
for
to a
integrity.
physical vessel
Its
already
crew
inside the
sounding
pressurized
Hale and Hardy
medium.
on board. Time to splash down 1 minute 15
Yeah,
seconds.
same old song and parachute. LOL. We didn't see nothing new. We've seen this before with every NASA crappy space mission. All the astronauts returning from the ISS do the same crap.
Integrity about to complete a journey spanning
We saw Katy Perry and the
694,481
Bezos
miles
girl do the same
from its
crap.
launch
We
from
saw
the Kennedy
Bezos
Space Center
try to
back on
pry
April
open the
1st,
space door,
and
but
the
the thing
trip
was
around the
already
moon.
open and flung open. And they were like, whoa, whoa, hold on, whoopsie. We didn't see anything. We didn't see anything. This is live. We did not see them enter from space into Earth. We just saw a blackout screen, and then we saw the hoax take place. Like, come on, some David Copperfield shit. This is weak. 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 Remember, that thing is over 4,000 degrees right now because it just came from space.
Passing through 1,000 feet.
Give me a break. What did we see, Prince? Coco didn't see anything. You didn't see anything. They're lying to us. Why do they want us to believe this shit? Coco, why do they want us to believe space is real? And they can't even show us anything to even be able to consider this nonsense real. They leave the rest up to your imagination. They rely on you to trust them because, you know, science and education.
Splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
And then the rest they leave
Splashdown
up to your
confirmed.
imagination.
Copy
And if you don't
splashdown,
believe it,
waiting
you'll
on
be
VLDR.
socially
Splashdown
outcast because
confirmed at
everyone else believes
7:07
it, right?
p.m. Central
So
Time,
you don't want to.
5:07 p.m. Pacific Time. From the pages of Jules Verne to a modern-day mission to the moon,
Can
a
you
new
get down?
chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth.
Give me a break. They were always on Earth, you idiot. You can't leave Earth, you dumbass. That was
And the
it.
landing and support officer reports the vehicle is stable 1. We still will be deploying the crew module uprighting system to maintain that orientation. A perfect bullseye splashdown for Integrity and its 4 astronauts.
Okay, where's the switch now? Because the other switch, there's 2. Oh, what are they? They're cutting the feed. Look. And now they're switching to a different lander. Cool. This is what happened. That's the switch. You got to look for the switch. I was just saying, watch the switch. There's 2 landers. The one that we saw fall out the sky had no one in it, right? That was just to make you think, oh my God, wow. There's no way they would do that. And then they have another one already in the ocean with the parachutes out
The
with them
unofficial
in it. It
splashdown
didn't
time,
fall from the sky.
7:07 and 47 seconds p.m. Central Time. We'll get that refined for you. That would put the end of the mission at a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 31 minutes, 35 seconds.
This is so easy to fake. Where's the steam? Where's the smoke? Where's the ripples?
And we
Where is
continue
any
to
evidence
reiterate-
that this thing just came back from space?
Once again, splashdown occurring in the Pacific, southwest of San Diego. At
San Diego,
7:07 and
right next to
47 seconds
J7.
PM.
Integrity Houston, comm check on VLDR.
This thing should be hot.
Houston, we have you loud and clear on VLDR. How else?
We have you the same. We'll meet you over in post-landing.
Perfect communications established.
What a journey. We are stable 1, 4 green crew members.
Houston copies all.
Where
Reed
is the
Wiseman
evidence
reporting
that
4
we just
green
saw
crew
4
members. That is not their
astronauts return from
complexion.
space
That
in that
is
thing?
the fact that they're in great
They
condition.
cut
That's what
the
that
feed.
means.
1 minute they have cameras
So
on the
stable
thing
one,
splashing down. Next
upright,
minute
the
it's
crew
cut to
module
something
uprighting
that's
system
not
is
it.
being deployed. The 5 airbags being inflated through helium to maintain
Where are
the
the
upright
astronauts in the
configuration
lander
for
that
the
just
vehicle.
landed? Shut
This was
up
a
and show
textbook
me the
entry and a
lander. I
textbook
want to see
touchdown
these
for
motherfuckers
integrity.
that just returned
Reed
from
Wiseman,
space.
Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen back on Earth after a
That's
journey
not
around the moon.
them. You guys switch cameras. You keep cutting the feed to pull your tricks and your fakery. I don't fall for that crap. What are you showing us? Where's this burning hot lander that just re-entered Earth and landed in the ocean? Where's the steam? Where is anything? There's absolutely no way that in the last 10 days
We
that piece of
continue
crap
to monitor the functioning of the CMOOS system. The airbags are being inflated to maintain a stable one or upright configuration. And there's a good view from one of the naval helicopters hovering overhead. Reed Wiseman reporting 4 green crew members, meaning they're all in excellent
Hey,
shape.
we're on Earth. What is with the grainy fucking camera footage?
Integrity Houston for SAR beacon and radio.
Bro, they can't even show us space. How the hell are they going to fake
Our beacon is
an alien
in
invasion?
406, and we're powering the radio now. Go ahead.
We see the beacon on. However, the recovery team is not seeing the signal. Your SAR radio uses the same antenna, so you may run into trouble with the radio.
You were just communicating with them friggin' 250,000 miles away from Earth, and you can't communicate with them in the ocean? Listen, I didn't get the chance to do this for the first one back in 1969 because I wasn't even born yet.
Integrity is in great shape. And as the crew continues its
Integrity's in great
post-splashdown
shape.
timelined activities on board, Reed Wiseman once again reporting that all 4 crew members are in excellent shape.
Of course
and
they
we
are.
have 5 inflated airbags to maintain an upright configuration so that the recovery team can now begin a slow approach to the vehicle. Meanwhile, here in the flight control room, entry flight director Rick Henfling is polling his team of flight controllers for the start.
Why can't he zoom in? Is this not coming from a helicopter?
We
Why?
have no toxic gases.
Do you not see the rules put on these people and how they deliver this footage?
Approach the vehicle.
Let me mute this guy. Clearly, they're not allowed to zoom in on the lander, right? There's no reason why anyone in 2026 with a helicopter, with the military, with NASA are flying over one of their space shuttles that just returned to Earth and splashed down. They have to be so freaking far away that they can't even zoom the camera in to get a closer look. Why? Because we're going to see that this thing is not steaming hot. It did not just re-enter Earth's atmosphere at 25,000 miles per hour. It was not burning hot at over 4,000 degrees. That's absolute BS. Where's the parachute? Where is anything? Oh, God. Space is fake.
Reed Wiseman indicating some trouble with the SARSAT phone on board, but that's not an issue. What is more important?
Bro, in 10 days, they had every opportunity to actually deliver something that could be considered cool or inspiring, amazing. We did not see anything that we did not see before. We've seen rockets launch before. That's whatever. People make them all the time and launch them up. So what? It's a rocket. It's man-made. It doesn't prove space, right? Just because you made a rocket. While they were in space, we didn't see space. We saw plain black backgrounds with dangling paper mache toys. We saw inside of the lander fine. We could see them floating mics to each other and spinning around. Look, we're in space because we're floating, and we have hairspray in our hair that's standing up because, you know, gravity or lack thereof gravity. We didn't see anything. We didn't see views of Earth as they were traveling to the moon. We didn't see any camera angle, not even 3 seconds worth of video. We didn't see any footage of them traveling towards the moon, not even a 3-second long video of anything. We didn't see the slingshot around the moon because, you know, signal, blackout, radio transmission, the dark side of the moon, every fucking excuse you could think of to just say, we can't show it to you. You're not going to see shit because we don't have the signal. We have too much fucking plasma. We're burning at 4,000 degrees. We're 250,000 miles away from Earth. You're not going to see anything. Just trust us. You just have to believe us and trust us and watch these visualizations and use your imagination on what space is and what it would be like, and trust that these astronauts are telling you the truth. They're not Freemasons. They're not atheists. They're not sodomites. They're not the bloodline of Cain or Ham. They're not the rebellion to God. Descendants of Nimrod. Come on, man. People will believe anything but the truth. Anything but the truth. Exactly. We saw more in 1969 than we did in 2026 of space. They were ballsy back then. They had Stanley Kubrick, right? I don't know why they didn't use Steven Spielberg, but I guess Steven Spielberg turned NASA down and be like, fuck you. I'm going to do my own space movie, and it's going to be called Disclosure Day. And I'm releasing it 2 months after your bullshit Artemis, because in June, Spielberg's releasing his alien space crap movie, right? In the 60s, they actually had the audacity to bullshit humanity, to be like, look, we're going to go up to space, we're going to land this tin can on the moon, and we're going to go play a couple of rounds of putt-putt golf. We're going to put the flag in, we're going to drive around, we're going to jump around on the moon. Like, they did all of that in 1969. They called the president, Nixon, on a landline or radio tower, whatever. There was conversation live from the moon to the president Oval Office. They were doing sports on the moon. They brought vehicles up there and brought them out of the lander somehow and were driving around and then put it back. And they too returned to Earth and splashed down. Oh, the military's finally found them. So there was no signal cut in 1969. There was no blackout. We got to see them on the moon. We got to see them leave the aircraft, and somehow Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon, was being filmed by a camera watching. We've gone over this before. Tricking us for years. We're not tricking us here anymore, but the rest of the world, I don't know why they believe this crap. Yep, the water didn't boil, and I will report this back because I literally have people there right now watching it. Yeah, you're the closest person we know to it. It's fake. Humans did not just return to Earth from space. Trust me, that did not just happen. This is not it. This ain't it. Hurry up and show us these astronauts.
So there's no rush to begin the power down.
To call you on the sat phone and not getting an answer there either.
And where's Trump? Where's the presidential all this
We haven't had
nonsense?
anything
Hurry
come
up.
through.
Get it over and done with. I'm sick of this shit. Fake crap. The exact same fake crap 57 years ago. They're doing it exactly the same, identical, but
And you
weaker.
said if you could relay to recovery that we hear them, but it does not.
They have better technology,
But it does
way
not
more
appear as though they
advanced,
are
but yet they
hearing
give
us.
us the same shit, and in most cases, worse shit than what we got in 1969. We never got a reasoning on
Recent
how they got
copies,
back
and Reed,
through the
just to
Van Allen
confirm,
belt.
you are
They lost the
pushing
data, but they found it
PTT
again.
on the radio.
Come on, man. Yeah, I'm sorry, but again, I just have to document this, that I watched it live,
So as we
called
continue
it
to
out
sort out
live,
the
because people are going to
communications
want to
between
know.
integrity and the recovery teams, we are standing by for the initial.
People are going to want to know. Like, I wanted to know. I was like, I wasn't alive for the first one in 1969. But after looking at the footage as an adult and seeing what kind of crock of shit Prince, can you get down? What it was, I told myself, it's like, and everyone believed this. I was like, weren't there people that called this out as it happened back in 1969? But we don't know because the technology wasn't around. Maybe there were people that said it was fake, and I'm pretty sure there was, because we heard there were moon deniers always. But now we have the technology, and I'm going to make sure that all my work is here, documented, live, dated, timestamped, that for the future, people will, when they finally wake up, they're going to be like, wow, there were people warning us live, calling it as it happened, and we were just oblivious to it. So again, this is all part of the documentation.
Okay, we copy all, and just to confirm, you are seeing that you're touchdown plus 33.0 for power, correct?
33-0 for power.
That's affirmative.
Affirmative. Masonic ritual complete. Well, not yet. They still got more hand signs to do when they get out the lander. Look, here comes the military. There's the helicopters. There's the boats. Everyone's pulling in. But they're keeping their distance because, you know, it's hot.
We are trying a backdoor approach to have mission control here call the crew on their satellite phone. This is all part of the coordination for the power down of the vehicle that will initiate the actual recovery operation. The first boats with the Navy divers on board are
Oh, they got the
by,
Navy
waiting to close
divers
in
too.
on
This is a
integrity
big
to begin the
operation,
process of
boy.
erecting the large inflatable raft.
Oh,
that's
hurry
on the
up.
front porch
Let's get this
that
over with.
will be where the astronauts are extracted from, so that they can have a few minutes to get their land legs back.
So this is all we've got. We haven't seen anything in 10 days, but yet the whole world, all media stations, is gonna be fucking pumping the shit out of this. These astronauts, well, they were already on every talk show. They're gonna be back being questioned, quizzed. Like, it's gonna be madness. And because of the hype and the excitement over this, most people don't even know what happened, but they'll hear about it now. And the people will be like, what? That happened? They went around the moon? And that's it. They'll just believe it. It's hype. So the hype train's about to begin, right? If it hasn't already started over this, there's going to be so much hype over this. You saw that rocket scientist girl really hyping the shit out of this, overselling it. Like, this is the elite of sporting when it comes to the engineering and the science. I was like, we're not seeing that. So shut your mouth. Elite my ass. We're not seeing anything. This is like, we haven't seen nothing. Absolutely nothing to prove that they were in space, went around the moon, and came back. All of this could easily be faked. Everything they showed us while they were in space could easily have been faked. So where is this? They gave us nothing. There's no solid evidence.
On OE1, is there any chance to tie us into NRD?
They didn't silence anyone with their fantastic footage, with their 30+ GoPros. We've seen fuck all. There is absolutely nothing from this bullshit experiment this fake mission that is going to shut up the flat earth community, that is going to stop Bible believing biblical earth cosmology. There's nothing. This just strengthens the battle and the argument over God's word, because humans, with all their modern tech and their science, cannot defeat the word of God. Genesis still remains. Genesis is still the only fact you need of our creation of this world, and they still cannot disprove it. This did not disprove anything. This did not wipe away the firmament and the dome. This didn't end the war on Earth as a spinning globe. They didn't even show that. They had every opportunity to show the world spinning and clouds moving and anything. We didn't see that. We saw the same picture we saw 57 years ago. The exact same picture. At least then they had an excuse. Oh, technology, cameras. Now we have cameras the size of your smaller than your fingernail. Yeah, this is crap.
Country that contributed to this incredible moment right now, and yeah, incredibly grateful too for our teams here on the John P. Murtha right now.
Yeah, look at the behind us here.
Got everybody. What do you guys think? We just brought some astronauts back from the moon, huh?
No, you didn't. Stop lying to the people.
Unbelievable. Thank you. Yeah, so grateful to the Navy, the sailors that are here, the NASA teams. I mean, this is a joint effort that's on their way right now. These recovery forces are getting out to our Orion spacecraft, to Integrity, get our astronauts back on the ship safely.
Yeah, and this is not just an accomplishment for NASA. This is an accomplishment for humanity. Again, a historic mission to the moon and back. How does this make you feel, and what do you hope people take away from this?
Well, I'll tell you, I think about the crew members that we've all had an opportunity to observe over the last 10 days, right? I mean, they're absolutely professional astronauts. I mean, wonderful communicators, almost poets. But then I think these were the ambassadors from humanity to the stars that we sent out there right now. And I can't imagine a better crew than the Artemis II crew that just completed a perfect mission right now. So yes, it's a huge moment for everybody, right? I mean, we are back in the business of sending astronauts to the moon, bringing them back safely, and to set up for a series more. I mean, this is not a once in a lifetime, which you hear sometimes around here. It's like, this was a once in a lifetime. No, it's not. This is just
Do I look?
beginning.
Does it look like I'm believing this crap?
With frequency, sending missions to
Because
the
you're
moon
right,
until we
right
land
away.
on it in
This is
2028 and start building our base.
Yeah, are we going to build on the
GAY.
momentum for Artemis III? I mean, it's just around the corner.
Absolutely. So I mean, that's part of me too. I can't wait to get the crew off of Integrity right now, but also getting Integrity back on this ship so we can start.
So
taking
you're
a look
telling
at it,
me
because all that
before
data
they
is
cut
so
the
precious
footage
to us right now. I mean, we are going to.
Remember, we were watching live as they were flying over Earth, right? So they're flying over Earth, but yet the footage cut, so we didn't see them re-enter Earth, but they knew exactly how to re-enter a spinning ball Earth. They knew where San Diego was. They knew where the Pacific was. They knew where to touch down, right? Come on, man. Come on. They hit the exact spot they needed to hit.
Joined us for all 10 days to see what we can accomplish together with our international partners. What do you think about the fact that we're going to keep doing this more and more and more?
It's incredibly exciting. I mean, yes, it's the contributions, like the best and brightest across the NASA workforce from across the country, our industry partners, our international partners. We had a Canadian Space Agency astronaut on board in Jeremy. We had the European service
Coco doesn't
module.
believe
And you
this
think
crap. They didn't
days
go to
leading up
space.
this launch,
Tell
I mean,
them, Coco.
48 hours prior to launching Artemis II, I was meeting with the Italian Space Agency. We signed a memorandum of understanding to build a habitation module on the moon.
They're
And you have
deceiving the
countries,
world.
all of our allies and partners coming together saying, we are committed to this effort. We are returning to the moon. We're doing it to stay. We are building that enduring presence. We are going to master the skills on the surface of the moon so someday we can undertake missions to Mars. It's just an incredibly exciting
Look what
time.
you did.
And we're not going at it alone. We're bringing everybody along with us.
Absolutely. And speaking of everyone, one more time, we're going to ask the crew here, you guys ready to land on the moon? Awesome. I love that. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Administrator. Appreciate you being here. We're, of course, going to stay on to watch the crew get extracted from Orion. So stay tuned, and we'll see you back here shortly.
Stay tuned and we'll see you back here shortly. This is a great day for humanity. Are you guys ready to land on the moon?
Thank you, Megan, and thank you, Administrator Isaacman.
Let's go to the moon.
We are in the process of working to establish that communications link and to establish the procedures that will lead to the power down of the spacecraft, which is gently bobbing in the Pacific following a bullseye touchdown.
Bullseye touchdown,
That occurred
see?
at 7:07 p.m. Central
Look
Time.
at that. It was a
5:07
bullseye
p.m.
touchdown,
Pacific
right
time,
exactly where they
2.5
needed
hours
to be.
before sunset in the Pacific, southwest of San Diego.
Southwest of San
We have
Diego.
once again heard from the crew during that interview opportunity with the administrator, and we have
Let's see the
4
comments.
healthy crew
People
members on
can't be
board.
believing this crap.
We now have confirmation that the vehicle has been powered down as per the procedures. So we have vehicle powered down, and the flight control team here in Houston, Flight Director Rick Henfling, has handed over mission authority to the Exploration Ground Systems team out in the Pacific. Now, we will physically not get off console with this team until the crew has been extracted into the front porch, that inflatable raft that will be erected along the side hatch of Integrity. So we're standing by for that in the next step in the recovery procedures. But everything is in great shape, and we have 4 healthy crew members on board the vehicle.
Okay, get them out the shuttle then. What are you waiting for?
All of the entry events went by the book, no issues, perfect trajectory for
Perfect, no
Integrity.
issues.
That was culminated with one final raise burn to improve the angle of attack for the vehicle as it entered the Earth's atmosphere. All of that flight dynamics computation.
Oh my God, can you hurry
worked like
up?
a charm.
Of course it worked like a charm because you're fucking faking it. Of course it's going to work when you're faking it. You hear that? They hit the bullseye right on the mark. Not one issue. Everything went perfectly. It's like, whoa, worked like a charm. Duh. That's how deception works, right? When you're faking shit and you're lying to people, it will work like a charm, but not to those that see right through the BS.
So we are standing by for the recovery team to approach Integrity and begin the process of erecting that inflatable raft called the front porch, which will see the crew members be extracted from the hatch of Orion into that inflatable raft before they
must be rejected along with every Apollo mission. Every space mission needs to be rejected. We need to protest outside these space agencies.
Each crew member
and be like, we're not buying this shit. You're wasting the money. Why? We know why you're faking this.
For each
You're
helicopter
lying.
before they turn around to head back to the John P. Murtha. Once on the deck of the
Sorry, these guys are just chatting so much crap. Watt says infinite budget, zero transparency. With 93 billion spent on Artemis, the failure to provide a simple high bandwidth master camera that never cuts is reason enough to reject the hoax. Exactly. Without that 24/7 camera footage, no one should be believing anything. Seeing is believing. We're in 2026. Cameras are very easy to come by. Homeless people are walking around with more cameras than NASA now. We need to see footage, not images, not stitched together CGI slop. We want video. Show us all the video from those GoPros. That wasn't it. Whatever you showed wasn't it. Just arrived and they confirmed that you couldn't even see it entering the atmosphere or arriving or parachutes or landing in it. You didn't see nothing. It was already just sitting there in the ocean, and then they cut the cameras. They had a pre-recorded shot of something falling from the sky. And listen, this shit is so fake. It is so easily faked. that anyone could literally pull this off. You do not need the budget that NASA has to pull this off. You just need a bunch of people to be in on the scam and to Prince couldn't even get close to the shoreline due to hundreds of people. Yeah, of course. They're going to put all the Masons out there in force, make sure they're there first, dressed in civilian gear. And then they're going to be like, yeah, we saw it. It was amazing. You missed it. It was such a big moment for humanity. They're going to talk all the BS, right? No one's seeing anything. It's not happening because it can't happen. Once you know that it cannot happen, but yet they're trying to say it's happening, but they still can't show it happening, it's because they cannot show it happening, because they are lying to you. Yep, Jesus is coming. Don't worry. The trash will be taken out. Hurry up. Just get them out of there. Let's end this live. Document it on the internet forever. We're not seeing anything. So let's go back to some action then. So what work did we see from the start of the broadcast?
From the Artemis flight control.
Yeah, let's see what we're seeing as we're waiting for them to get these guys. This is from 1972. They had much better footage 50 years ago. See the cloud formation? This is just an image. It's not real-time footage of Earth. It's impossible. So here's the stats. So the crew module, service module separation, 37 minutes before splashdown. We saw that happen live and it was ridiculous. Crew module raise burn. We didn't see none of that. It was blacked out. Entry interface. Orion enters Earth's atmosphere. 400,000 feet, 13 minutes before splashdown. Bullshit. We didn't see none of that. Forward bay cover jettison, 36,000, 24,000 feet. I don't know what they're talking about. We saw nothing. Drogues, pilots, main chutes deploy. We saw footage of something falling with chutes deploying. Could have been anything. Splashdown, bullshit. No steam, no nothing. Fake, just a tin can dropped out of an airplane. That's it. The main parachute cut, an Orion crew module, uprighting system deploy, recovery. So that's what we're waiting on now, is this damn recovery. Get them out the shuttle. Let's see what it looks like to have been away from Earth for 10 days, and let's move on and expose the shit out of this crap. We're not seeing anything. This could be anywhere. That could be anywhere. This was the best they gave us, and it's absolute shit. The shape of the Earth is weird. The clouds aren't moving. They stay the same for the whole show. Visualizations, not the real thing. Nonsense camera angles, facing the wrong way. We don't want to see this. We want to see space. And you refuse to show us. For those that missed it, here's the so there in this thing, that's what separated and dropped to Earth, which is absolute bullshit. That's not the same thing we just saw separate. So they mixed in two separate footages there of a live footage and then some kind of CGI shit, and then that was it. Then we saw this weird shaped Earth of them entering, looking for the perfect spot to enter so they could land by San Diego. Like, come on. I want to see the guy navigate. I want to see camera footage of the pilot flying over this Earth and looking down, being like, there's the US, there's San Diego. Let's bring this baby in. Bullshit. We didn't see nothing. And then it blacked out. And then we saw this. Come on. I can generate this with AI right now. There's nothing spectacular about that. Now we're live and we're not seeing nothing. Yeah, we'll see people be calling all the demon faces out in the clouds, all the clone clouds from previous pictures. It's fake. You don't need to put too much time into it. It doesn't need to upset the balance of your life. I've been there, done that a decade ago. This shit's fake. The clouds are fake. We know what we're supposed to see, but we don't see it. Guaranteed. There was nowhere on Earth that had that cloud cover. And if it did, people would be standing under it and it would have moved by then. It wouldn't have stayed the same for 2 hours straight as the fucking Orion, the integrity was returning to Earth. It's bullshit. So look, they're approaching the lander now. Let's get to it. It's so fake, 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 fake. Every space mission is fake from the first time they ever did one, from the moon landing, Apollo 11, Apollo 17, 13, 18, all fake. I can't believe we're watching this. What a bore fest. I fell asleep earlier watching them return to Earth as they were getting closer. We didn't see nothing. Oh, what's with these grainy images? They're taking the piss. Here we go. Here's a proper camera angle now with a camera that can zoom. So they do have that technology. They zoom in a bit more. It's like they're allowed to zoom in now. All of a sudden, the camera's on with clear HD footage. Like if that thing was that hot, 4,000 degrees, those parachutes would have melted right off. They would have burst. Those airbags would have popped. Like the heat would have just melted the shit out of that. There's no way. Ridiculous. I'm only watching this because people believe this is real life. And I'm trying to see what they're watching to see how can they believe any of this is real. There's absolutely nothing they're showing to prove that this is real, that space is real, that they can actually leave Earth and come back. We did not see any evidence of that because it cannot happen. Where's the sound? Is that talking or what? Wow, come on. We saw all of it, all 10 days of it, and there was nothing of any value, of any sustenance. Nothing.
This is Mission Control Houston. Once again, you're watching the initiation of the recovery of the Artemis crew aboard Integrity. All of the Navy divers and the fast boats are now approaching the spacecraft after conducting a hazard assessment. The vehicle has been powered down. Entry Flight Director Rick Henfling now waiting for
Vehicle? That's not a
the
vehicle.
front porch to be erected along the side of the vehicle so that the hatch can be opened and the crew members extracted from Integrity, soon to be hoisted one by one into a pair of Navy helicopters for a short flight back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha. If you missed it earlier, we talked to Flight Dynamics and received a more official touchdown time or splashdown time, as it were, of 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time, 5:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Pacific Time. That would equate to a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 15 seconds.
Okay. So now this ritual and this facade is over. Yeah, there's going to be a bit more work to do, but the most important stuff is being done now while it's live. But the more people wake up and start looking at it, once it's being shoved down their throats and pushed in their faces, they're going to be like, what the hell? We're not seeing anything. Because it is also fake. Now we have to move on to the next part of this thing. So why are they pushing this? Is it still to push the belief that aliens is real? So they need this space to be real and people traveling through it. So they need people to believe that humans can leave and re-enter, which means other species, other races of alien could enter also from wherever the hell they're coming from in this make-believe world. Yeah, it's fake and boring. Like, I'm dying for this to end. I just want to see them get out. We have to cover all of this because, you know, the rituals go all the way up until, you know, they get out. Remember when the Apollo 11, they were sitting in there and didn't get out for a second and were just, yeah, doing the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil symbolism. It's witchcraft. Yeah, this is really boring. It's almost over. Yeah, we've seen this before. We've seen this before. So let me quickly go find another.
Continuing to get excellent views from the imagery assets out at sea in the Pacific of integrity. We continue to get good reports from the landing and support officer who's in contact with the recovery team that the crew is in excellent shape, no issues. They're just currently biding their time, waiting for the front porch to be.
So this is the Apollo 11 splash.
11 Hornet, copy. 13301675. Any further data, over. 330. Okay, our splashdown here is our attitude longitude 1330 16.15. That's Hornet, copy.
No cigars being lit up here yet. We're waiting till the crew is on the carrier. A few are being wetted in anticipation of a match, but we don't see any lit yet. The cigars are being lit up for the mobile quarantine facility.
Thanks to all those Americans who built those spacecraft, did the construction, design, the test, and put their heart, all their abilities into those craft. To those people, tonight we give a special thank you. And to all the other people that are listening and watching tonight.
It's the exact same spacecraft. Nothing's changed in 57 years. Quickly, the military is approaching integrity right now.
The first.
Hi, Sue. Sue's here, saying hi to everyone. So it's the exact same thing they did 57 years ago with Apollo 11. It's the exact same spacecraft, yes. Same shape, same everything, same splashdown in the same part of the ocean. But remember, Apollo 11, those guys didn't get out right away. They were stayed in the lander and gave interviews while still inside of it. So let's see what they do with these guys here. Because, you know, they're contaminated from space, you know, they gotta be cautious. They don't want the black goo getting on everyone, or the symbiotic suit, like in Spider-Man, or anyone getting special powers, like in the Fantastic Four. Prince, can you stop being bad boy, please? Everyone can hear you and knows that you're being bad. And you can't fool anyone anymore that you're this little angel. Stop it. This better be done by 10 minutes. Complete bore fest, 10 days of absolute crap. This will go down in history for sure, but for all the wrong reasons. For all the wrong reasons.
This is Mission Control Houston, continuing to watch the initiation of the recovery of Integrity's astronauts. One by one, they'll be brought out of the spacecraft onto a large inflatable raft just a short time from now. In the meantime, we can go back to the USS John P. Murtha, where my colleague Megan Cruz is standing by to provide her situation report. Megan, can you hear us?
Hey, Rob. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you. Yeah, we're back here on the bow of the recovery ship where there are still plenty of people peering out into the water. We are not very far from the action everyone is seeing on their screen now. The Orion spacecraft Integrity in the ocean, surrounded by a number of recovery boats. As Rob has been saying, in those recovery boats, NASA and Navy personnel specifically trained to get the astronauts out of Orion. In some of our wide shots, you can probably see that there are 6 boats out in the water. More than 40 people out in the water right now on those boats.
They're really dragging this shit out, man. They are dragging the shit out of this.
First order of business is to set up the front porch and the stabilization collar. You might also hear it referred to as a stab collar. Basically just to make sure that Orion stays upright, doesn't sway in the water too much, again, to make it easier for recovery forces to get the astronauts out. Again, we splashed down in the Pacific Ocean just after 5 p.m. Pacific time here. It's a requirement by NASA to be able to get the crew out of Orion within 2 hours of splashdown. So doing great on time so far. Plenty of time. No rush either. I was speaking to NASA flight surgeon Rick Schuring earlier in this broadcast, and he said to me, no rush to get the crew out. Just want to make sure that they're feeling good. And whenever they're ready to take their step out of Orion and onto that large raft, the front porch, folks will be ready. And as there are mission audio loops in Mission Control in Houston, there is a mission audio loop here on the ship, and it was just reported out that the side hatch is open. Side hatch of Integrity is open. You're getting these beautiful shots from our aerial assets. The ship itself, where I'm on, just 3,000 yards away. Again, plenty of people on the boat here, glued to the side closest to where they can see all this action. And again, with just 3,000 yards separating us, great views from the bow here. You can see now that side hatch is open. One of the Navy personnel is about to get inside there. In they go. In total, 4 will go into Orion. So it'll be a little bit of a tight squeeze, but the goal is to have a recovery personnel with each astronaut assessing them.
Boring. This doesn't prove space is real.
Boats getting closer now. Again, that one that's right up against Orion, those are the divers that will go in to the spacecraft to check on each of the astronauts. These other boats will begin doing a number of things, putting on that stabilization collar onto Orion, building that front porch. Eventually, they will retrieve the parachutes, as well as tow Orion back to the well deck of the recovery ship here. And so as we wait for the Navy and NASA personnel to get their assessment of the crew inside of Orion, why don't we toss it back to Rob for an update?
Yeah, thank you, Megan. Here in Mission Control, Flight Director Rick Henfling and the entry team of flight controllers still on duty. The vehicle has been powered down for some time now. There are no hazardous gases emanating from Integrity. That, of course, allowed the recovery personnel to approach the vehicle and then open the hatch to begin the initial medical assessment of the crew, as you just indicated. Now we're standing by for the erection of that inflatable raft, the front porch, alongside of the vehicle that will enable the crew to be extracted one by one onto the raft, have a moment or two to get their land legs back before they're hoisted into 2 hovering Navy helicopters, 2 crew members for each helicopter, for a short flight back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha. All of Integrity's systems operated flawlessly throughout the course of the approach to the Earth, the entry into the Earth's atmosphere, and all of the key milestones that followed in this high-speed return to Earth for Integrity, a mission that spanned more than 694,000 miles from the
Fake.
vehicle's
Shut
launch
up.
from the Kennedy
Bullshit.
Space Center atop the Space Launch System back on April 1st.
Yeah, I'm getting bored of waiting. I don't want to keep you guys. I'm just going to end this. It's a load of shit. Yeah, they're really milking it. There's nothing to milk. What could they possibly be milking by waiting so long to just get them out of there? They missed it already. They were in space. Where's the video footage? They're just overdoing everything
As we
now.
mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the last time that the Apollo program saw a splashdown in the Pacific was Apollo 17 back on December 19th, 1972. So for the first time in 53 and a half years, we have reenacted that with the arrival of Integrity's astronauts as they flew around the moon in that historic lunar flyby that began with a trans-lunar injection burn that took them out of Earth orbit following 24 hours of a high Earth orbit trajectory. The high Earth orbit trajectory enabled flight controllers here to have a full 24 hours to evaluate the systems on Integrity and the condition of the crew before they would commit to flying to the moon.
Yeah, there's nothing going on. We didn't see anything. We're not going to see anything. They're back from space. So whatever they're doing now is just makes no sense. You're on Earth, relax. You were just playing it up in space for the last week. So yeah, say Integrity one more time, mofo. LOL. Absolute nonsense. We covered it all. So I'm gonna have to make an Integrity or a Artemis playlist to go along with all the Apollo work we've done over the years. Like, these space agencies aren't producing anything of any value to prove or actually have anyone believe that space is real. Anyone that believes space is real, like, how do you believe that space is real? You've never seen anything, because I've never seen anything of space. So what are you believing? Where did you get this belief from? What did you see to make you believe space was real? Was it one of these fake images? You don't know that they're fake? Like, you saw a live feed of Earth from space? Like, where is it? Share with me so I can look at it too. People are lazy. They're not looking at anything. They're not searching for anything. They just go and buy what they're told and what the information is out there, what the Siri is telling them, what ChatGPT is telling them. They don't question it. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're covering NASA, so it's boring. It's nothing but blackouts and visualizations and complete nonsense. We're covering the splashdown live. It was very underwhelming. Not impressed at all. I'm not here thinking, God damn, space is amazing. I'm not looking at these guys thinking they're so brave. What's going on here? Come on, do something. I remember watching crap like this every decade, 80s, 90s, the early 2000s. It's the same crap. Okay, I'm getting sick of watching this now. Like, what's going on? Exactly. Where's Palm Beach Pete? Yeah, I know about Palm Beach Pete. Oh, is there a face? Can we see it? Is that a face?
With the side hatch of Orion having been opened to set the stage
Yeah,
for the
you
erection
can
of the
see someone.
inflatable life raft, known as the front porch, to be erected alongside the spacecraft for the extraction of the crew. Let's play for you an interview that my colleague Megan Cruz conducted on the USS John P. Murtha with Navy diver First Class David McMahon that explains how this process is unfolding.
Okay, Davey, so you and some of your team, one last look over of the stabilization collar, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what is this stabilization collar?
This is what's going to stabilize the capsule out there in the ocean. We don't know how good the weather or the waves will be that day, so this will help prevent any...
This is very unfuturistic, very unspace-like. Like they go to space and they're doing this advanced futuristic crap with their shuttles and their rockets, but then they bring GoPros and cell phones and they land with balloons and parachutes. Like, what? How does any of this add up and equal space? Like, you're like mixing like caveman technology, like parachutes and balloons with space travel and 4,000 degree temperature. Like, come on, like none of this makes sense. This thing was traveling at 20,000+ miles per hour. Felt like, where's it doesn't have thrusters? What, it still needs a parachute and balloons. Like it can't just fly and land in its space. Like that would be more believable than just dropping out the sky and sitting in the ocean with a bunch of friggin' balloons.
Room for the astronauts to sit in.
What happened to the
helicopters?
You know, the rocket we've gone over where, you know, the rocket goes up and then it comes back down and returns to where it took off. It's like, and then all of a sudden it's like, and then locks back into place. Why didn't they do that? Let me find that. I want to find one of those videos. Rocket returning. Yeah, these videos are ridiculous. Oh, can't watch this no more.
Once again, the recovery operations are continuing out in the Pacific. We shortly should see that life raft, the front porch, erected alongside the side hatch of the vehicle.
Move.
A number of flight controllers have come into the flight control room to receive congratulations from entry flight director Rick Henfling. But we're going to stick with our operations out in the Pacific as we await the extraction of the 4 crew members who are reported to be in excellent condition.
Congratulations for what? Look, Super Hot BM says it's Katy Perry. Oh, wait. Yeah. Are they waiting for Jeff Bezos to come pry them out of the shuttle? Yeah, it's just a military operation.
Again, while we stand by for that front porch to be erected
it should have been out of it by
the
now.
side hatch of the vehicle, let's go back to the USS John P. Murtha and Megan Cruz. Megan?
Yeah, the balloons, like I said, they should have melted off anyway.
Hey,
They
Rob.
should be crisp. But yet they
Pausing now
just
to
come
listen
out
to
and
some
sit upon a 4,000 degree Fahrenheit burning tin
pausing to
can.
listen to some internal audio loops. Again, the operations team here on the ship communicating with everyone out on the water. It seems like currents are hindering them a little bit from unfurling and inflating the stabilization collar as well as the front porch. But again, the requirement to get the crew out within 2 hours of splashdown, plenty of time. So no concerns just yet. But as calm as the water looks, yeah, it looks like it's hindering the teams just a tad. You can see in some of our shots that side hatch still open. Again, inside, there are now 8 people inside. 4 divers, Navy divers, all with medical training, each assigned to an astronaut each. Making sure that they're comfortable, feeling good. As you've heard us say in the broadcast, you know, they expect a little bit of discomfort. Again, these astronauts just traveled back to Earth at 25,000 miles an hour, a nearly 695,000 mile journey around the moon.
Oh, yeah?
If you think you get car sick.
Oh, yeah? Out of here.
Again, 6 boats out there, lots of gear with them, just in case, right? As we said, the crew reported feeling great. But again, all those folks out there in case they weren't, right? NASA is all about making sure we think about every situation that can happen. And so, of course, wanted to be ready in case any of our astronauts needed more medical attention while out there in the water. You see now teams, again, trying to set up the stabilization collar and front porch for the crew to get out of Orion. They need both, right? The stabilization collar will keep Orion from swaying as you see it is doing now. And then they will connect the front porch to the stabilization collar so that the crew can take 2 steps and they will be in the front porch. Not a lot of chatter on the mission audio loops. That's a good thing. Again, things proceeding pretty nominally, even if they're fighting some currents out there on the Pacific Ocean. Again, the goal, setting up the stabilization collar and the front porch so that the crew can rest comfortably in the front porch, get placed into harnesses so that 2 helicopters can lift them off the front porch and onto the USS John Murtha here. The helicopters are going to take turns picking up an astronaut. So again, Helo 1 and Helo 2. Okay, and the recovery team here on the ship just got a report from the
Oh, yeah?
undersea medical officer who is
Really?
inside the capsule with the crew. He is reporting all 4 members are green. All of our 4 astronauts, Reed, Victor, Christina, Jeremy, green, meaning they're feeling great.
Of course
Not the
they're
complexion
fine.
of their skin. They are feeling great, happy to be home, and ready to be extracted as soon as possible. And so, as I was saying, we have 2 helicopters circling the activity you're seeing on the water right now. Each will take turns picking up an astronaut. So Helo 1 will come on in, hover above the front porch, about 40 feet above the front porch. A Navy recovery specialist will be hoisted down into the front porch.
The restricted maneuvering doctrine is in effect.
Will connect to the first astronaut, which we're expecting to be Christina. And then Helo 2 comes around, picks up Jeremy, while Helo 1 stays above head. And then Helo 1 will come back in for another astronaut, and then Helo 2 for the last astronaut, and then back to the flight deck here on the recovery ship. I was talking to Assistant Artemis Recovery Director Paul Sierpinski. He said helos are a much quicker, safer way to get on board. They did actually consider boats, but then if you think about it, longer time, the crew would have to move through more of the ship.
Okay, I've got 10 more
This way,
minutes
the
and that's
helo-
it. That's it.
The
I'm done.
helos will give a more direct, quicker route to the medical bay.
Yeah.
For our 4 astronauts.
So according to Google, it should take hours for that capsule to cool off before anybody would be able to touch it.
Beautiful shots from our
Ask
aerial and
ChatGPT.
imagery teams.
How long would it take a
Clouds have dissipated for a clear
4,000
view from the bow of the recovery ship here. You can still see divers in the water there. Encircling Orion, that is that stabilization collar we've been telling you about. As you saw in that interview just a few minutes ago, they have to first connect it to Orion, and then once it's secured onto Orion, they can inflate it, and then they'll further secure it with other harnesses and lines.
Oh my God. Exactly. They pushed that tin can out the back of a C-130, end of story. What is that? That's the Hercules, right? Military
About an hour and
bomber.
10 minutes since
If
splashdown in
even
the
that.
Pacific Ocean here.
Yeah, man. I can barely handle 10 more seconds. I know. I'm going to keep the live at 2 hours. If they're in or out, I don't care. We'll catch it on another live.
Christina and
But this
Jeremy
has been a drag to watch,
back home
man. We've seen
after a
absolutely
history-making
nothing.
mission
It's
to the
been
moon and back.
torturous, nothing exciting, no space excitement, no re-entering Earth excitement, just pure fakery.
And if you missed what we said just a couple of minutes ago, the undersea medical officer inside with the crew in Orion reporting all 4 crew members feeling great. Progress being made there on the stabilization collar. It looks like they are beginning to inflate it. And it looks like they're starting to unfold the front porch in order to get that into the water here shortly and inflate that as well. Again, more than 40 people out in the water right now. And those Navy and NASA personnel have been in the water for now about 4 hours. The reason why they had to get out so early is just to stage everything. And actually here on the ship,
Stage everything.
when there are flight operations happening, you can't have anything else, right? Just because the flight deck can be a dangerous place, so they just want to focus on planes coming and going from the ship. So that's why they wanted to get the boats in the water to make sure that they have all the time they needed for the flight ops. And then the same crew here out in the water, they will stay out in the water for a number of hours after we recover the crew and get them back on the ship, because then they have to recover Orion. All right, that stabilization collar looking good around Orion. We're now seeing some recovery personnel getting on
Hurry up. I got 5 more minutes.
to that collar. Again, they need to further attach it to Orion to make sure that it can really prop up the spacecraft. It's basically lifting it up off of the water just a tad. Again, so it's not so so it doesn't sway so much in the water there. And now that front porch looks like it's nearly fully inflated as well. You can see a much larger surface area. And so once the crew get out of Orion, they can stretch their legs a little bit on this front porch, get some fresh air. And enjoy this beautiful day here on their home planet. It appears teams now are about to connect the front porch to the stabilization collar. And at that point, when both are secure, we should soon see astronauts come out of Orion.
2 more minutes. Hurry up.
All these views you see also being fed to the Landing Force Operations Center here on the ship. Of course, it is very important for our recovery teams leading the mission to have all the views that you're seeing as well. Again, listening to their communication loop here on the ship. Very quiet, which is a good thing. It means things are going pretty nominally, meaning as expected. Again, all this activity happening just 3,000 yards
Freaking hell.
away from
It's
the
really-
ship. So that means this will be a very quick flight back on the helicopters for the crew. 2-3 minutes, and then they'll be back here on the ship. Okay, saw a thumbs up from one of the personnel on the front porch. It looks like they are now getting ready to deploy what they call the Air Rescue Vest, ARV. And so this is a harness that each crew member will get into in order to be hoisted into the helicopters. Again, those helicopters hovering just about 30 feet above the front porch when they're ready to pick up each crew member.
Wow. So you guys remember while watching this footage, it started to strobe light flash. So yeah, flashing lights can influence how your brain processes visual information. Brainwave entertainment, limited effect, rhythmic flashes can nudge the brain's electrical activity to sync slightly with the flash rate. A brainwave entertainment effect. This can change alertness, relaxation, or focus a bit. Visual illusions, altered perception. Rapid flashes can make motion look strange or fragmented or create a hypnotic feeling. Mood arousal shifts. Certain tempos can feel energizing or disorienting. So when they did the strobe light flashes, that was a mind control technique
with
to
the
relax the mind to
textbook
take in the information that
splashdown
they're
of
feeding you.
integrity and its 4 astronauts. We're standing by for the crew to be extracted from the spacecraft. Entry Flight Director Rick Henfling invited all of these flight controllers who have contributed to this
Yeah,
mission
they're coming out right
to enter
now.
the flight control room
Stage
to have an
everything.
opportunity to receive well wishes and to share the
Yeah,
mutual
C-3PO will
glow
be losing his
that
shit right
exists in the
now.
wake
That's
of a
crazy.
textbook mission
Same
for
old props,
integrity on the
same
front
old cameras,
screen here in
same old
Mission
mockery,
Control.
but worse
A
with the
sign
given
that says
potentials of
welcome
today's
home
tech.
integrity,
Exactly.
taking humanity back to the moon, going further,
They didn't
and
go back
returning
to the
safely
moon.
to Earth.
Going further,
So all
returning
of that
safely.
jubilation, part of
Wow.
the
Mission Control
post-splashdown
Center. Look at
activities,
that.
even as we await the crew being extracted from the vehicle to be hoisted onto Navy helicopters for the trip back to the USS John P. Murtha.
Wow. They're celebrating this crap. Oh my God. Why are they still not out yet? We came this far. Like, bro, why does it need 40 guys to take 4 people out of a can? Like, they're astronauts. They just survived, like, more that most people will ever experience, supposedly, right? You'd think they'd be able to step out of this thing by themselves. Or they're trying to exaggerate they haven't felt gravity in 10 days, so they need to get the feeling back in their legs.
Artemis flight control room, known as the White Flight Control Room. This is the old shuttle flight control room, and now is the home of Artemis missions to the moon and beyond.
Wow, it's the old Apollo
Once again,
control room.
Quite a few flight controllers were invited in by Entry Flight Director Rick Henfling to share in the jubilation following the successful splashdown of integrity. That splashdown occurring an hour and 22 minutes ago, as we stand by for the completion of the extraction of the crew, and ultimately they're hoisting onto Navy helicopters for a short flight back to the USS John P. Murtha. Splashdown occurred at 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time.
7:07 and 27 seconds. So there's your 777 for order out of chaos.
A moment or two ago, he said the trajectory of integrity coming through the Earth's atmosphere was so precise, they've never seen anything line up on a ground track like today's entry by integrity for its splashdown southwest of San Diego.
7:07 and 27 for your 777. Order out of chaos is 777. Get ready. These are the final rituals before the end times war. I didn't mute it. I don't know why they keep cutting out the sound.
And the initial, you can hear it.
There they are getting off. Look. Why is people clapping? There's nothing exciting about this. They didn't do anything or go anywhere.
Jubilation here in the flight control room. The first crew member is out of integrity.
Why can't we get sound? That you're on Earth. You're not in space anymore. You can stop the trickery.
We are expecting the other crew members momentarily to be extracted. We now have 2 crew members out.
Yeah. They did it better half a century ago. So the helicopters are going to take them directly back to
2
base
crew members
for
out, 2 to go.
debriefing, right? Maybe testing, medical test. I don't know what kind of fakery they're going to push, but we're looking at it now. There's 2 of them out. A third one's going to get out. Then they're going to clap and cheer. Like, come on. This is...
We're about 1 hour from sunset out in the Pacific. Everything continues to go well. Integrity's systems function perfectly during its entry back to Earth. And Reed Wiseman, the commander who will be last out of the vehicle,
Reed
reported that all
Richards,
the crew
Mr.
members were feeling
Fantastic.
very well. Crew member number 3 now out. And now standing by for the commander, Reed Wiseman, who will be last out of his ship. Bobbing in the Pacific under almost ideal conditions, Integrity spanned 694,000 miles during its journey from launch to splashdown.
Okay, I'm done. We gave it an extra 10 minutes. They're coming out slowly, one by one. Like, come on. We've seen enough. We didn't see space. We didn't see them flying around the moon. We didn't see them returning to Earth and entering the atmosphere. As predicted,
And we
everything
now have
blacked out. They lost signal.
Reed Wiseman out of the vehicle.
Reed
All 4
Wiseman's
crew
out of the
members now out
vehicle.
of
Yay.
Integrity.
Come on. Like, what is this? You need a big show for this? Okay, I'm not wasting any more people's time. I'm not bamboozled, but the rest of the world is. They actually believe this thing is in space, flying around the moon. I can't watch any more of this crap. It's honestly turning my brain into mush, trying to comprehend. And that's all they need to dupe the whole world.
Once again, all 4 crew members now on the front porch. And the procedure to begin hoisting them up to these 2 Navy helicopters hovering overhead will begin shortly.
Oh my God, we have to watch them get hoisted up by helicopters now? Oh, please, come on. What time is it? I need to go. I don't want to see this no more. They're wasting time. And then it's going to take another 2 hours to hoist up 4 people and whisk them away. We're not going to stick around for that. Yeah, they're not even trying this time around. At least the other astronauts from Apollo 11, they were locked in the lander and did interviews from inside the lander. They couldn't let them out. Like, it was a big thing. Like, they're not even trying. They're not even trying this time around. They don't care. They already fooled the world half a century ago. Now they're just using the same script and just adding to it. They're not even going to attempt to try, because then they feel, oh, if we try and do something different, people might catch on. So what they're going to do is use what worked before and stick with it. We have seen absolutely nothing different, nothing new from 50 years ago. Absolutely nothing. No new images of Earth, no new video footage, no new images of the moon. They didn't even land on the moon, so they did nothing. They did nothing. There they are. Look, they're all sitting there on the land, on the raft now. Same boats, same everything, same helicopters. It's the same control room for Apollo.
This is
They told
Control
you.
Houston. The mission is over, but the melody lingers on as jubilation continues here in the flight control room. We should be expecting NASA's Associate Administrator, Amit Kshatriya, to be joining us shortly for a short interview while the recovery operations continue out in the Pacific. So we'll stand by for that. And then we'll turn it back over to Megan Cruz aboard the USS John P. Murtha.
Yeah, we're not going to stick around and watch any more of this. I've had enough. Yeah, 50 years ago, they had the computing power of a calculator, not even that, not even a megabyte. Friday, April 10th, 2026. And we're living in a world where people believe that space is real, that NASA is a space agency that wants to show you the real world and space and nebulas. We live in a world where people trust the government and trust the pharmaceutical companies. They trust Bill Gates with their health. They trust a computer software guy with their health, right? People believe that the government buildings were built by people on horse and carriage, or worse, Tartarians that were so advanced they got wiped out by mud. No, it was the fallen angels. Check out my new song, Fallen Angels. It pretty much tells you where the old world came from, who created it, and how it's still here, and people are walking around under the silent gaze of the fallen angels, watchers. They lost the technology, 90 million a day in taxpayer money. Brainwashing is real. They're not here to help people. They're here to dumb down people so that they can be stupid enough to trade away their soul to the beast.
Here in the Artemis flight control room.
Nanotechnology is here. They're
Number of
about
flight
to unleash it
controllers
in the world.
basking in the glory of the successful end of this mission that carried 4 astronauts around the moon on a lunar flyby, and the first test flight of Orion with crew members on board. Splashdown occurring an hour and 32 minutes ago after a flawless descent back into the Earth's atmosphere for the vehicle. Its
Have a
4
good
crew
night.
members in good shape.
Day 7.
Simply enjoying their time right now.
Crusader family,
On,
be
the
safe,
front
be
porch,
aware,
as it were,
pray
the
for
inflatable
Jesus'
raft
return.
alongside
Amen.
of their Integrity spacecraft. We're expecting Amit Kshatriya, the NASA Associate Administrator, to join us here momentarily for a brief interview before we turn it back over to Megan Cruz aboard the USS John P. Murtha, the recovery ship.
Yeah, that's it. I'm done watching this. Wasted too much time with this crap. It's all fake. But thank you for being here watching, and thank you for all the comments. I'm glad to see people aren't buying this crap, but there's a lot of people that are. If you want to help wake up some people, share out some of these videos. It doesn't have to be this one. This one was just covering nothing. basically, we saw nothing. We knew they weren't going to show us anything, and we heard every excuse in the book, and they pulled it right on cue. It was a laugh fest, right? So, yeah, good job exposing this. Much love, beautiful people. So thank you, everyone. If you've been watching and listening to this, you are the resistance.